Yeah.
Daddy.
He loves to make assumptions. It is
I
zealous
like it,
advocacy.
yeah.
That's for sure. I'm not just a mom. Fucking music producer. You guys, this is a banger.
It's so good.
Hit record. This is what's gonna bring us
We
over.
won't come back.
I'm Jenny Lynn.
And I'm Jen.
And we're in High Conflict Hell.
Hell.
And you might be too. If you know, you know. But let's make sure you're in the right place.
You're in the right place if you have mommy issues.
You're in the right place if you have daddy issues.
You're in the right place if you wish you didn't have any of these issues.
You're in the right place if you have childhood issues.
You're in the right place if you have attorney issues.
You're in the right place if your answer is all of the above.
Or some, or none.
Or none.
And you just want to be here with us.
Yay.
We got to take a second to remind you that if you have not subscribed and followed us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, it is so helpful for us.
Yes.
YouTube is really behind the curve with all of you followers. So if you really like to listen to podcasts, but you're not a big YouTube person, that's okay. Can you just go
Subscribe.
anyways?
It's free. Someone recently asked me how much it costs to subscribe to I was an older person.
It depends on if we like you.
I was like, it's free.
For all of you, it's free.
Free. And seriously, thanks for listening. We wouldn't be here doing
If
this
no one was
if
listening.
no one was. Maybe we would be. But the fact that people are listening is
Crazy.
It helps, and the fact that we're in the top 25%
Yeah.
of podcasts is kind of amazing to me.
It's crazy.
That this story is resonating with people. No,
With too many people.
right?
read
It's
it?
sad, but it's also helpful. It's been helpful to me. So yes, Jen, read a message from. We love getting messages.
Sometimes you read them. I haven't even responded to this
Oh.
message yet. So when you listen to this episode, no, if I haven't responded to you yet, we're going to so soon.
And-
it made me cry.
And you guys, call the Parenting Plan Hotline.
Oh yeah.
Come on, call the Parenting Plan Hotline. We have had a couple calls,
Yeah.
but call the Parenting Plan Hotline with your story. The phone number of the Parenting Plan Hotline is...
I've got so many jobs right now. The
I know.
phone number is 401-343-6185. Once again, that phone number is 401-343-6185. And Jenny Lynn will make sure it gets into the description.
Yes,
Of the episode.
It's in the description of a couple of the episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be in the description of the episodes as well.
Yeah.
So now today.
Oh, wait, we were going to read this message.
Yes, right. Yes.
Okay,
message.
so this is our most recent message, and we like to share these because it helps us remember why we're doing this, because
Yeah.
it's not about us.
The community aspect of this is extremely important to both of us.
Yeah.
So
Ladies, your podcast has been hitting home. My heart goes out to you both. I am living a high conflict hell situation myself. Guardian ad litem was recently appointed in my case, and my high conflict co-parent has been a living nightmare, along with his bully attorney. My high conflict co-parent is also an attorney, and I am done paying attorney fees and giving my savings away. Thank you for starting to build this community. We aren't alone. You're not alone.
You're not alone.
Unfortunately.
I know.
Unfortunately.
But feeling supported is invaluable.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this before, that even if you don't agree with everything we say, we are not the experts. We're not therapists. We're up here talking as just two witches being burned at the stake repeatedly over and over while we're trying to protect our children and support each other. So thank you, fellow witches, for coming along on this journey.
Yeah.
And we said before, we're going to start adding guests into the show. So that's in the near future for us.
Yeah.
We're working out some of the technical issues with it.
Yeah. And a really, really quick corrections cauldron.
Oh, yeah.
It was not the cats that had scabies in the scabies and head lice episode. It was the dogs at his new estranged wife house that have scabies. So my cat actually wasn't at risk because cat scabies are cat scabies and dog scabies are dog scabies and human scabies are human scabies.
Okay.
It's like a whole thing.
For reference, this is episode 29, which is going to be a hot topic today as well. Episode 29 was Head lice, scabies, and attorneys are not nice.
Yeah.
And a material fact was mistaken. I will say the scabies on a dog instead of a cat was our fault. We want to really apologize for misclassifying the animal. Yeah. I will say you did say, because I went back and listened, that you weren't really sure at some point what animal the scabies was on. You did say that, but you definitely were more focused on the cat.
Yeah.
You were wrong, Jen. You were
wrong.
Very, very wrong.
They should really punish me for that.
I also want to say that we are going to talk about the more serious issues on the next episode. Yeah. As you know from the other day's episode, there's a lot of very serious, heavy things going on. You know what? It
feels like a Tuesday.
Depends on who you ask, right? So those are still happening, and we will be getting to those. And we'll touch on them today, for sure. But the developments with things happening, we'll fill you in at the next episode. So this episode, we're talking about mommies and daddies.
And issues.
Okay, and if you're not a regular listener, we call Jen's ex-husband, he has an attorney, we call him Daddy. And we started calling him Daddy because he likes to tell the parents what to do, number one. He loves to make assumptions about the parenting in Jen's home. He routinely, I will say, repeated, not
unfounded,
not unfound, not allegations, written word. He routinely states Jen's home environment is unsafe. Wait, what does he say?
Unsafe, but also
unstable, disturbing. The words he have used.
Abusive.
Yes. I know. We really should have not called him Daddy. We should have, and I do refer to him as Psychic Daddy in a lot of episodes, because I would love actually for him to look inside all of our homes.
Tell me what to fix.
From afar.
How do I get rid?
Yeah. How do I get rid of scabies, actually? How do I get rid of scabies from coming here?
To the veterinarian.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that we could use some help with.
Yeah.
So
he could have told me not to burn my tongue on the tea you made me this
morning. Right. I mean, there's a lot of things that we struggle with every single day.
Yeah. It's just lawyering.
It is lawyering. And I will say he could not have played a better daddy in our podcast. But it is zealous advocacy. Yes. That's for sure.
Well, I am concluding personally that what he's doing is it has ruined my co-parenting relationship. What he has done, what my ex-homer has paid for, has ruined a positive co-parenting relationship.
Right.
And that is...
And they will never get there. No. They will always say that this is your fault.
Yeah.
They will never take any accountability.
To spend money because of you.
Yep. Because that's what's been said. They will never take any accountability that dad's behaviors as what landed this in this situation. Even if they didn't like the way you communicate with dad, even if they wanted things to change in the parenting plan, like a vacation schedule, the approach here has been so confrontational. And I would tell everybody, if you're going to hire an attorney, be mindful of their approach.
Well, and what you want.
Yes.
If this is what you want, pay for it. I don't agree with it. I think it's horrible, and I don't think you should ever be okay with that. That's when you should look introspectively and go, why am I willing to try to hurt somebody? But if you want to preserve what may be a reasonable co-parenting relationship, even if not perfect.
I'm going to read this. It's from Olivia Howe, my reliable news source of Instagram. She does have a blue check mark next to her name.
Ooh.
I love the way she presents stuff because she has like an artistic watercolor in the background. And I just think
that makes this reliable.
It always looks beautiful. And if you're on YouTube, because I just asked you to be.
Is that an explicit nude?
Are you sure? Right? Okay. And I sent this to a friend of mine the other day who's also going through some really high conflict stuff. And here's the truth. We rarely say out loud. You cannot be a good father if you emotionally abusive to their mother. Those two realities cannot coexist. A good father protects the ecosystem his children live inside. He makes safety not negotiable. He makes tenderness easy. He makes the home a place where everyone can exhale. Anything less is not fatherhood, it's theater. And I Yeah, thank you,
Applause,
Olivia.
with your watercolor.
Yeah, with your beautiful Instagram also, because I love someone who can take artistic expression through serious issue. And
Like we do.
we're trying, that's for sure, you know, and we'll have some artistic expression this episode because I crafted a banging hit.
A really banger.
You guys,
It was a banger.
We'll play a little sample right now.
Daddy's a lawyer, working for his mommy. 20K retainers, yeah, billing getting stopped.
Well, yeah, but artistic expression through serious issues, it has my heart. It has my heart. And I love actually at this point that I can lean into this so heavily.
Yeah.
Because it feels a very deep rewarding. So thanks everyone again for being here with us on this journey. And let's get to Mommy, because who's Mommy?
Mommy
Mommy
is a hero.
Our hero. You know, at least for now. And in
At
all
least for
fairness,
now.
well, in all fairness, like Mommy stepped in to really put some distance between Jen and Daddy. So thankful for her though, is that she provided the space for you to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
And really concentrate on your kids. And I do think some of that space was really vital for your health.
For my children.
Oh, your Zoloft prescription. Can we talk about this real quick?
Yeah. Many years ago. Like we're talking six years ago.
Let's be clear. More than 5.
More than 5. Was on Zoloft for a short period during COVID. I had all kids at home, schooling at home. I was working from home. I just had a little bit of the blues.
And let me be clear. If you're not on a anti-anxiety, good for you.
How?
At
Are
this
you
point.
okay?
And I think
Yeah.
and I think it's a product of kind of like society right now.
So we mentioned in one of our episodes, and a few of them, we started a lot of the time with
like in our
Zoloft.
intro. This
Yeah.
is unofficially sponsored by Lexapro and Zoloft. Jen and I's morning medicine.
So to be very clear, I was not on medication for any kind of an anxiety or anything for 6 years. Not because I couldn't have used it, but because I just wasn't.
Well, you didn't need it.
I really didn't
you
need
were
it.
in a better place in life, and
I have done a lot to make my life be a wonderful, beautiful, safe place.
And it is.
But every single person, I don't know anybody that doesn't have a bit of anxiety here and there. So
yeah, and some people can handle it better, personality, character, trait wise, whatever that is. Like
3 months on,
genetics. I'm a geneticist too.
3 months into this,
I'm not.
2.5 months, actually, 2.5 months into this almost daily assault by Daddy of being told that I'm a terrible mother and my home is a disturbing environment and I'm a piece of shit, basically. He doesn't actually say that, but he says a lot of things.
He says everything but that.
Yeah, I was at my primary care doctor for a regular checkup, and I was like, hey, I've got this thing going on
This
with,
court case.
and
Some people would call it court abuse.
I said, it's really hard. And I used to take Zoloft many years ago and it worked well. She said, why don't I prescribe that for you? And I said, okay. She said, how much do you take? And I said, well, I always had the 25 milligram pill because that's the smallest dosage it will come in. And I cut it in half. So I was really taking 12.5 milligrams a day, which is basically nothing.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, I'm going to prescribe you that 25 milligrams and please don't cut it in half.
Well, yeah, and do what you want with it. Take it.
Yeah.
Take it if you feel like you need it.
Yeah, but I do cut it in half and I take
Yeah.
it daily, and it helps with the anxiety, whether that's work or kids or court abuse or
CPS.
Daddy being or CPS or Daddy being, terrible. But Zoloft is also something that you are supposed to build on until you are at the appropriate dosage, which takes about 6 months usually. And I'm not a doctor. I'm a historian, geneticist,
Right.
And a comedian. No, but
And a podcaster.
Yeah.
So Jen, paraphrase what he said.
So he sends these interrogatories where he's asking me to disclose my substance abuse and my mental health history and any therapist that I've ever been to and my Alcoholics Anonymous sign-in sheets and all these things. None of these things I have. And at the time that he had sent these interrogatories for me to respond to, I did not have any medication except for my birth control, I guess.
When he
which I
sent them
forgot that.
originally. Yeah. So you filled them out and then you didn't send them right away.
Yeah, but I was
Yeah.
not on any medication.
Yeah.
And
it is, in fairness, it is your job to go back and once you submit to make sure all the answers are still like accurate.
Yeah.
But also the amount that Daddy's inaccurate about things is, and he's not the person, as this is what they would say, he's not the person on trial.
Well,
you are.
Well, you know who else is my
this
ex-husband, who's on a lot of different medications.
Right. And this is the system, right? Is that they can say whatever they want. Like, you are this much inaccurate. And this is what I also think is funny to me, is that we have 30 hours of us just talking up here. And that's the inaccuracy, the level of inaccuracy that we have.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we're not telling stories in a funny way or trying to, you know, make this engaging and entertaining and shit. But we're trying to be grounded.
Right.
Like,
I need Zoloft to be grounded.
I need Lexapro to be grounded.
Well, so he responds to my attorney 3 times in a week saying she hasn't responded. We need these. We need these. So the last one was like, in this specific episode, she says at minute something, and he quotes that I started going back to therapy and that I got on Zoloft.
Right.
Which is true.
And at this point, you've had 3 therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Like, if he was listening in real time, like, he would have caught all this. So I'm not sure.
Recent.
That's what I mean. Exactly. So, and it's fine. And those are easily correctable. But if that's the level of inaccuracy that they're pointing to, you know what? Hey.
Yeah. And if my
high five for us.
Yeah. If my ex-husband wants to spend $120 on him sending 3 emails, 1 was sufficient. My attorney is an attorney. She is held to the standard of an attorney.
My attorney is an attorney. She's held to the standard of an attorney.
She will be responding to you.
I'm going to make a song.
And she had been working on these interrogatories with me to make sure that everything I was deficient in was being produced.
Yeah.
And it's not simple. I have a job and I have 3 children, and they are requesting.
Not only that, on the other end, they would consider that good lawyering.
Right.
My ex-husband didn't produce his business records until 2nd day of trial.
Right.
We could not get them to.
Right.
So, I mean, his triple emails on 0.25 milligram of
milligrams of Zoloft.
diphtheria,
scabies, wrong animal. So he also, another question that was in there was, please describe your co-parent's weaknesses. So he wanted me to list out what I think my ex-husband's weaknesses are. These interrogatories, and any interrogatories, this is not specific to daddy, are meant so somebody that can poke a hole in your narrative.
Catcha.
So my response was not applicable, because I do not think that how I feel about my ex-husband's weaknesses is relevant. He has the children 4 days a month, and until now,
and they're not. That's it.
Yeah, that is risk mitigation enough.
Yeah, the harm can really be mitigated by you, mom,
giving
that
has
emotional
support,
more than majority custody. I don't know what you want to call that custody arrangement, but it is a significant amount of custody,
which we'd agreed on.
So this is the hard part, right? So for you to list, I mean, realistically, he has 30 hours to listen to about our thoughts, feelings, and emotions on ex-Homer's weaknesses, your strengths, all of the things. It is very difficult in a paragraph response.
And it's not with the intention of going, oh, yeah, we agree.
And Jen, here's the thing, like, you go like this, right, on your strengths, and you go like this on your ex-husband's
I'm not trying to be a fucking
No.
bitch.
You know what that's going to be? You're the favorite parent.
That's
Even
true.
look at your descriptions.
Right.
You clearly think, and this is family court, people. There's no book. There's no family handbook.
There's a book and it's getting thrown at me.
Right, the law book. But there's no book on here's what it takes to be a good mom, and here's what it takes to be a good dad.
Sure I'm checking
here's
all
our
these
acceptable
boxes.
Weaknesses. Here are weaknesses that are not acceptable. So anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
So this question specifically, the funny part about it is that he responds to my attorney and in there requesting an actual answer that is not applicable, because I still think that it's not applicable. He says, if your client, this is paraphrasing, if your client thinks that her ex-husband has no weaknesses, then she's going to need to write that. I was like, well, actually,
okay.
Here, if you're requiring that I respond to this.
If we had anything to hide, we would not have 30 hours of us talking and trying to raise awareness about these things.
Right.
And what I will say, because now the guardian ad litem's involved, right?
Yeah.
And she's a third-party investigator whose job is to look into the best interests of the children, make a recommendation.
I respect that.
Absolutely.
And she's communicated that she's okay with us talking.
Well, that's exactly what I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
That the approach, from what I've heard, was because we've had some serious conversations about this podcast.
Yeah.
And this really comes up if you listen to our Afro Man episode of free speech.
Right.
And you can contractually waive away your free speech, and you also can't do some things that are, slander, all those things.
Yeah.
But you are allowed to talk
And
about how a system works and the effects of that on the kids and our day-to-day lives. And if we can't talk about that, if that's the crime, what does it say about what's happening in the system?
Yeah.
So,
and we anonymize this.
right. When you told me that the GAL came back and was basically like, what did she say? Okay. Because in addition to Daddy sending the GAL a letter, he framed up the case for the GAL. And there's basically two main issues that appear to be going on: mental health of the parties and this podcast.
Not the vacation, holidays, or later pickup.
Not transportation, none of those things.
Yeah.
Those are the two issues now that they are paying someone $6,000
to begin with.
to
start
begin with.
$175 an hour.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But these things are not cheap.
So the Guardian ad litem sends a lengthy email that addresses quite a few things that I won't, and we'll be doing our best to ensure that we are allowing her to investigate the things that she needs to. So Daddy came to the GAL several times and was like, the podcast. And basically what he was doing was saying, like, you might be the subject of a podcast.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my attorney responded and said, we want to ensure your comfortability.
Free to listen.
And here it is. Yeah, and let us know if there's anything you would like to consider.
That you're concerned about.
Yeah. Because this needs to be respected.
Yeah. That her investigation, that she has a job.
Yeah.
And this is her job.
Yeah. And so the last sentence of an email says, from the Guardian ad litem says, with respect to the podcast, parties are free to discuss my investigation with third parties as they see fit. This will not impact my investigation process or the conclusions in my report. And you know what? I agree.
So in my hopes and dreams, the GAL has a feeling about transparency in a system being necessary.
Right.
That's it. That's the feeling. You don't have to think we're right. You don't have to think they're right. That's actually beyond the point.
Right. And
The
I hope
point
that
is transparency for a system.
Right. Well, and I hope on her side that she was like, people speaking up is not inherently a problem because this is intended to be an unbiased, thorough process.
Yeah.
And I am a respectable professional.
That's
that
how I
will not
read.
be impacted by somebody talking about something that is supposed to be in place for the best interest of children. And
That's a deep read. Both of our parts are a deep read.
But that's what I hope is what she is intended.
Yeah. And it's like any other system, any jail system, any judicial process. If the ticket to get in is too high to pay, you should know what that looks like on the inside.
Yep.
Before you step into court, you should know what that looks like before you start this process. And you've said this about your ex-husband, ex-Homer.
I still feel like he has no idea what's to come.
That you're not sure that he was appraised of how this could go, how many thousands of dollars this could cost, the consequences
I still think that.
of this action, and whether that's on ex-Homer or Daddy, it honestly doesn't matter to me.
Right. If you are going to step into something, it is your responsibility to understand if you can afford that, how much it's going to cost, how much it's going to take. And he's told me, I have no more money.
He's not acting like
He has told people, I cannot pay my bills. I
told
am
you-
worried about housing.
Jen. He told you he wasn't going to be splitting an extracurricular with your children at this point.
After he told me he would.
Right. And there's more to that story too, but you have thousands of dollars to pay attorneys and guardian items, and you're okay with your kid not participating in
Something you previously agreed to pay your
something that's super
$140
healthy for her,
portion.
that's super healthy for young girls is what I will say. It's girl focused, it's exercise focused,
Yep.
it's really positivity focused.
And I'm coaching.
You
So now
are-
I'm going to tell my kid I can't go, but but I'll be there.
Oh,
and
that
so
she can't go?
Yeah.
No. And of course,
And
because
she's
you
going,
always
yeah.
do.
Yep.
And that's what they count on.
Yep.
They count on you'll always figure it
Moms
out.
will always figure it out.
And well, yeah, because if us not figuring out means hurting our child, we're not willing to pay that price.
Oh, and I would have gotten an email about it, how I'm making unilateral decisions after ex-Homer agreed to have my kid in this specific extracurricular and then I've withdrawn her. That would have been an email.
That's what they did to you with your daughter's private school.
And with skiing. They did it. They've done it several times.
And it's funny because, okay, as a lawyer, your focus is getting paid, right? You make a lot of money doing this. And so you are convincing your client that all these other things that you're doing for your kid really don't matter right now because you need to get paid.
Yeah.
Right now, the best interest for your kids is not skiing or running or private school. We need to fight this, even though you're not asking for more custodial time. We didn't even start this podcast, guys, until months after the lawyer was involved. And why we started it was because my friend was sitting here at my house reading me these emails. And I said to her, we need to bring this to the light. The way that he is speaking to you is so derogatory. It's putting you down, your education, your role as a mother, threatening your freedom and your safety. And I do think that is an approach that lawyers have. And it's not illegal. But if that's the way you choose to practice, I think people should be aware before they step into the system that this is what they can run into.
Right.
So the way you practice law, Daddy, it's not my choice.
Daddy's a lawyer, working for his mommy.
Right. Well, and my ex-husband has repeatedly told me that he only ever wanted to go to mediation, this and that. He's told me, I'm going to call my lawyer and tell him I want to go to mediation. And then, that.
But who knows? Because all their communications are privileged. So who knows what your ex-husband's telling Daddy?
His, this law practice is known for and self-proclaimed a highly litigious practice.
Yeah, it's all over their website.
Very trial heavy. So
you know what I also hate actually about the way they present their.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I don't even want to start the what do you hate.
Well, about their approach is that they write on their website that they realize when people are going through a family law matter that it's one of the most vulnerable points in their life, or something to that effect. I'm not quoting
about
it.
Compassion.
And I'm like, wait. So, I mean, if I read that, what I think is, are you preying on someone?
Wait, were you going to approach this delicately
or are you taking someone who you're now placing in the most vulnerable portion of their life, and are you coming at them full speed?
He's not stopped.
He is not. And he's not going to. And that's not even the point.
That's just who he is.
Because Daddy's everybody. Daddy is one of 1,000 attorneys out there who approach family law in this way. And I've heard from other attorneys that the judges feel bad for the lawyers in the family law system because it's real hard out there right now, because a lot of courts are just basically leaning into a 50-50. And so, when people are aware of that, they're not going the litigious route anymore. Yeah. And that's hurting their pocketbooks. And once again, this is all about money. Won't convince me otherwise. This is all about money.
And I'm growing increasingly convinced that this is about money. My ex-Homer has gone to his and my daughter's reconciliation therapist and said, I've given her an extra $128,000 over however many years. This is not true.
Talk about where that calculation appears to be coming from, Jen, because that calculation appears to just be the child support he's paid you
over 8 years.
So the fact that he considers that extra is a train of thought that so many people have about child support. It's all about money. And that's what they have been most upset with you about when talking on here. The corrections that we have made have to do with money. They were not happy that you did not provide the information that mother-in-law loaned you $8,000 specifically that you paid back, that you acted like you did it all on your own. And then ex-husband wasn't happy about the fact that you discussed that when you left him with 3 kids, and he felt like you gave the impression you did it all on your own when you actually didn't give that impression. You listed, you said, He paid you child support. You were living with his mother. That rubbed him in a way of the feeling that you're acting like you're doing this all on your own. Let me break it to everybody. She is doing this all on her own. She's the only person with a stable house. She's the only person who is there for her kids morning, noon, and night, 350 days a year or whatever. It's not that, but it's close.
320.
He has 4 days a month.
Yeah.
So the idea that as a woman, you can't stand up here and say, hey, I'm doing this on my own because that's wrong.
Yeah.
What the? What please tell me. What can I say that would make you feel good about how this has all gone? Because I'm telling you, on our end, we don't feel good.
Right.
And if that's our claim to fame, is that we freaking have to raise 3 kids on our own, each of us?
Right.
I mean, I'm begging for another reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that to be my claim to fame. This is hard.
Right.
This is hard.
It is hard on its own when things are really good all around you. It is absolutely horrible when your focus is your children and you're just trying to be a good mom, and now everyone around you is trying to take down your motherhood.
Yep. So in honor of Daddy's approach, I'm going to play the full song because I'm not just a mom. I'm not just a friend. I'm not just a daughter. I'm a fucking music producer now, you guys. This is a banger.
It's so good.
Hit record. This is what's gonna bring us
We
over.
won't come back. We won't come at you for copyright infringement.
No.
Yeah.
Jen, this is what I call creative freedom. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just being creatively free right now.
This is $400 that they turned off the security cameras for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because what else can I do?
I don't want to ask you what else you can do.
Okay, give me an honest feedback, Jen.
Well, I think that shit was fucking amazing.
Right?
I don't think that he deserves a song though. Like, I feel like there's a part of him
No.
going to love
He's
that.
gonna probably put it as his office hold music. How funny would that be, Jen? If next time you called because you had to pay an attorney's fees,
Yeah.
you were literally listening to my banger.
Yeah.
So good, right?
So fucking good.
Okay, I actually did more than one banger. I know, because now I'm a music
Do
producer.
you take requests?
I do. Actually, if you want a banger about your ex-husband, baby daddy, call the parenting plan hotline.
Mm-hmm.
Leave me your cell phone number. I will text you your own banger, your custom banger, just
Yeah.
for fun, because I'm on a music high from
Yeah.
these songs because they are so fun to me. I see what for Afroman to make his living doing this, next level.
Well, that's what we're working on.
Right. Well, music producer is in the back corner, but if I can figure out how to put this on Spotify,
So watch out.
and I sent them to a few friends and family because I was on my music producing journey,
Yeah.
getting some feedback. And some people were like, "Are you sure?" I was like,
Sure about what?
They're allowed to say whatever they want.
Yeah.
They're allowed to call my domestic violence repeated unfounded allegations.
AKA a lie.
Yeah, they're allowed to call your home an unsafe,
Disturbing
environment, aka a lie. But if I write a song, how you work for your mommy and you like to answer emails, that's too far.
Yeah.
Got it.
That you're spending
Got
all kinds
it.
of money
Once
to
again,
ask for 4 days a month.
never even mentioned a name. This is all Taylor Swift does, by the way, too, is write songs about men.
Yeah. And then we all have to sit and guess who it's about.
Exactly. See?
Yeah.
You know what? We're basically the next T Swift or Afro Man. Different genres, same concept.
Same concept.
Yeah. It's just about being able to express yourself.
Yeah. I have a request.
Okay.
It'll like tie in probably with my week in my, not the worst thing that happened to me this week though, but I'm going to need one for my mom.
Oh.
Yeah, she's going to need a song.
Not mommy, your lawyer.
No,
your
not mommy. Never.
actual mom.
My actual mom. She
I know.
really needs a
Jen, I wanted to ask you, is this bringing up some childhood shit for, I mean, I've already asked you
Yeah.
this and we've already talked about this a little bit, but
Oh, yeah.
this week in particular, where
Oh, yeah.
there's been police and CPS and
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of things. Are you okay?
I can't say no because then daddy's going to send an
Right.
email to mommy saying that some kind of assertion about my mental stability. But no,
Mommy.
I'm not okay.
Mommy, episode 33. I don't know if it's 33.
Jen
Episode
claims she is not okay.
Right after she played a song featuring Counsel, she stated, and I quote, "She is not okay."
Yeah.
Why would she not be okay? CPS had to step in. The police had to step in. The fact that she is publicly saying this is hard, amend your interrogatories
Right.
now.
Yeah, none of that's stressful at all. And none of that's the result of your client's behaviors.
Right? And none of that's bringing up all of these
Yeah.
things that you've personally gone through with a really hard childhood.
Well, and there's a whole other episode about this, but I will say that in my experience, and not just my personal lived experience as a child, it is hard to get CPS to take something very seriously.
Yeah.
Something has to be very serious for them to then take a report on it and act on it. So that in and of itself is enough to know that this isn't like frivolous.
CPS does,
I agree.
miss here or there, and things.
They miss a lot.
Okay, the hard part for me too, Jen, is because you've described in detail what some of these things were to me.
Yep.
And just saying sexually explicit does not sum it up. It just doesn't.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we can say all day long that, oh, you get what you mean, porn is porn. It's not okay.
Yeah. Yes, it is bringing up a lot of stuff for me, not the sexual explicitness, but the things that bring stuff up is the police and CPS and school. And my fear for how these things that are so necessary to have these authoritative bodies need to step in to my life and my children's, how that will impact my children. Because there is an inherent risk associated with that, even when things are handled in the best of the best way.
Well, okay, and I have a serious question for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're getting the support at this point? Because I know you and your mom's relationship has come a very long way.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like you're getting the support, the parental support that would help you along on this journey now?
No.
Really?
And I have worked so hard to develop communities elsewhere in my life that make that void feel smaller. But at the end of the day, that is a biological connection that I have
It's
to a
your
person.
mom.
And I don't have any connection with my biological father.
Yeah. Who you
So-
referred to as your dad raised you.
Yeah, is my stepdad.
Yeah, but
and I am
it's your
very
stepdad.
close with him. But it doesn't matter how close you are with somebody. There is a biological response that you have to a person that's supposed to care for you. And she's responding.
Yeah. But it is probably hurting even more.
Oh, it is. It's taking something bad and making it worse because what are you doing? Do you think before you talk? No, I know the answer is no.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. No,
It's
I
okay.
really am sorry because that mother wound is.
and it's
deep.
also part of the reason why I not just try to be a good mom. This is why I make sure I am a good mom. And I had a lot of really poor examples of motherhood in my family and the maternal side of my family. And it helped me to craft how I would not act, which really did so much for me.
And what I will say, Jen, is when I listen back, when I'm, deep in these episodes, that you do have a very positive way overall of speaking about your mom.
Oh, yeah.
And I know some of the ins and outs of that are very, very complex.
Mm-hmm.
And so for anything that you have said on here to, to feel hurt or slighted about that is not our intention.
Yeah.
At all, zero. And I'm not saying that's what your mom's doing either.
What is?
But
I'm saying it.
yeah.
And you know what? That's okay.
It is okay.
I'm putting it on the internet for it to be consumed by adults. This is all marked for mature audiences.
Yeah.
And you know what? My mom is a person that should be mature enough to be able to do this. I hope this is what this is teaching me. We all make mistakes as parents. The best parents make mistakes as parents. I hope that I am able to, when my children are adults, look at behaviors that they bring to me and say, hey, this hurt. Because it's almost never what we think it is going to be.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with you the other day.
Yeah.
Maybe we said something that came out the wrong way, but it's actually going to be when they're in their mid-20s that they come to us and say that we looked at them funny one day. That's actually what
Or that
bothered
some
them.
dynamic was very hurtful,
Something
that
we
was
just-
integral to our family.
Yeah.
Or,
Something we just don't identify is the problem. I hope that I am able to accept that and remediate for that the best that I can at that time. That is what that is teaching me.
To say sorry.
Oh, Do you know how to do that?
I'm right. Well, I practice a lot with my kids even today.
I know.
I know you are jabbing me because yes, but it's true. Just to say sorry, just to be like, hey,
that was real.
Even if I didn't realize that, or even if I blocked that out, or even if that wasn't a part of my perspective of that experience, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because the thing about having kids and living through this kind of really high conflict traumatic experience is that it does reopen wounds from our childhood.
Oh, yeah.
And a part of it has been healing for me as a human, that there are things in all of our family dynamics that we're like, why was that like that? And as a mom, I actually get it now. I get why those things were like that. And, sometimes it's still a hard pill to swallow, but the intention behind that can be understood in a way that, I don't know, that I couldn't before. Absolutely not.
Right.
So I'm going to make your mom a banger. I'm gonna make her a hit. Our goal out here is to raise awareness, is to talk about the day-to-day experience, how these things really affect us. And you've told me this. You pointed this out to me, Jen, in a very, very real way about the family court system. That it is really an area of law where internal bias is built in. No matter what. We all come from a family system. We all have experiences with other people's family systems. Some of us start our own family system. And now you're sitting up there, and no matter what, you carry these experiences as you're judging other people's family systems.
I don't think you actually know. It is hard to recognize internal bias. And
you have to have self-reflection.
Right. And what I've explained to you is like, you don't go into business law or like personal injury law and have, and everybody that's in this room all have internal bias about a family system. In family law, each attorney, the petitioner, the respondent, the bailiff,
the lawyers,
the recorder, the commissioner, or the judge, everyone has that.
Yeah.
And it is impossible to expect anybody to limit that.
Absolutely.
And so what you have tried to explain to me so many times is that as women, it's hard. And what I landed on with my specific case that I didn't bring, my ex-Homer brought the case, was we expect of mothers that we're able to do everything. My question is, why are we not holding dads responsible for their actions?
The same way that we hold moms.
Yes.
Yeah.
So why aren't we looking to dad to be magical and able to get a kid to do everything? Why are we allowing dad to take action that impacts kids so severely that they don't want to be there? And then mom has to go in and solve for that, and then force our children into unsafe situations where they're going to their school and saying, I'm not safe. I don't want to go there.
And this brings me to such deep feelings about this, because I, as a woman, have been in situations that my instincts have told me to remove myself from. And I hope that I'm instilling that in my girls. And by forcing them to go someplace where their instincts are telling them that it's not safe, they don't want to be there. And by virtue of default, not supporting that is against everything of my motherly instincts.
Right.
And I would have to be coerced financially to feel otherwise.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, that because my schedule situation is in flux, and I am in a position where I know a case is being built against me. It's been told to me.
And you have every sign.
Every sign.
Been told and.
Yeah. And I have to continue to do what's best for my kids, knowing that I will probably be penalized.
It might cost you $2,000.
It might cost me a few grand. It might cost me more. I don't know. But the reality is I don't trust that the court would actually do what's best for my kids, because they're not. They've shown that to me,
because they have not,
time and time again. And I've been told before too that like, oh well, your experience is unique. Your experience is unique. I have literally like message after message after message from women confirming that our experiences are not unique.
Not even a little bit. And that's crazy.
It is. And it's heartbreaking.
The amount of women in my position that are like, oh, I had a great co-parenting relationship until this and this. And I'm like, wait.
I know.
I thought I was really, really special here.
I know.
And then we see these things all the time where people are like, there was this threat, this threat, this threat, this DVPO, this DVPO.
Sexual abuse in the home.
Yeah, there's all these different things, and they got 50-50.
Yeah. And the essence of those familial relationships are important, which they absolutely are. Also,
I agree.
Also, what we know about reality is also important.
Right.
So is that not the worst thing that happened to you this week, Jen? What's not the worst thing that happened to you this week?
Not the worst thing that happened to me this week is that I had a phone conversation with my dad. I'm trying to fill my parents in some very serious and heavy things that happened to me this week. And my mom took the opportunity to back me up against a wall and try to get me to admit that someone else made me do something that actually she did.
Yeah. About your childhood, your own personal family dynamics. Yeah.
It was something that could have absolutely ruined somebody's life and in turn would have ruined my life also.
Yeah. Yeah. And these situations bring up deep, deep feelings.
Yeah.
And right now, though, this isn't about her. It's
She probably thinks the song is about her.
Yeah. And this is what I've told you. I found it when I was in the thick of my custody situation and my trial. I found it very, very difficult with other relationships because your emotional capacity, which usually is so great and so you can handle anything at any moment, is just not there anymore.
Right.
And the expectation that it should be there is not realistic.
Yeah.
It's not. And I am really sorry that happened to you.
It's okay. It's not the worst thing that happened to me this week. What's not the worst thing that happened to you this week? Hey, Jenny Lynn.
Yeah.
What's not the worst thing that happened to you this week?
Okay, well, after yours, mine feels really stupid.
Stupid.
I'm sorry. Not the worst thing that happened to me this week was that, so, I play soccer every week, every Friday night, and you were actually there when this happened, Jen. I was trying to cultivate a friendship that I thought was just a real hit.
You took me somewhere and then ignored me.
No, I didn't. You were standing there when this exchange happened, actually. You're going to remember and you're going to laugh when I tell you what happened.
Okay.
Because a new person started showing up to soccer and we go out after soccer and hang out. And her and I had been sitting next to each other and just like chatting it up. And she's so funny. She's significantly younger than me, but hysterical, great storyteller, really like fun person dynamic. And when I saw her this week at soccer, I was like, oh my God, it's so good to see you again. And da-da-da. And she was like, we were talking still. And about halfway through the night, she turned to me and she was like, what's your name again? And I was like, crush. She was like, oh my God. This is like having a new girl crush and just rejected by like in high school. I know, because you were sitting there and you like laughed and I was like,
but it's sweet of her that she felt so comfortable with you that she was like, this won't offend her. I got this. And then now look at you.
Turned to her and said,
I'm just kidding.
Maybe you should ask someone else. And she was like, oh, you knew. And I was like,
the whole thing where she's like, but I thought you knew because I haven't been calling you by your name at all. Like I've just been like referring to you by like, hey.
Yeah. Turns out I didn't notice. Turns out
she did a good job.
She did a great job. It was funny. It was cute. She's super cute. And I think I like meeting new people that are just fun. And
you never tell her name. You can be new every time.
Right? Hi, I'm here again.
Hi. Do you remember me?
Yeah. So that's not the worst thing that happened to me this week.
What's your week in hell, Jenny Lynn?
I actually cried this morning, which is not that new.
Actually, what do you mean?
But I was talking to Steve about all the stuff that you're going through.
Yeah.
And with the court and the police and CPS and your kids and working through like the potentials of what could happen.
Right.
And I just started crying. And yes, for you and yes, for me, but really the system is so flawed and it feels so insurmountable. And, what I was really speaking to is the fact of the police officer telling you to file a domestic violence restraining order, the police officer telling you they're concerned about the safety of everybody while a CPS investigation is going on, and me really articulating to him and saying, I think that's going to be used against her. And I'm telling you, I'm like, you need to get the recording of the police officer because
I told them that.
Yeah, and the police officer was like, all this is being recorded, ask for the recording. This should not be used against you in court. And me knowing the reality of how family court functions.
Right.
And not trusting it. Maybe it won't be used against you. I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers. But even if it's not used against you, I know.
Be used against someone else.
Yes, exactly. Because we all should want to keep our kids safe and do the proper things that are set up for it. And the idea that that's forefront of, as women, all of our minds, it's heartbreaking to me on just a human level. So
I had the other officer look at me and say, you will not be held in contempt over this. And I said, I was found to be in contempt over something that developed because of this situation happening a year and a half ago. There's obviously more narrative to that, but
right. And to his point, now the state's involved. It's a state order. It's not just mom making a best judgment call, so you can't be held in contempt.
Right.
Over
I know.
So,
This is my week in hell.
Yeah. As it's, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Rightfully.
My child's school calling the police calling CPS demanding that they take a report and that the police take my children into protective custody, and then the children being placed with me until an investigation occurs. This is my week in hell because I don't want this to be my children's life.
Yeah.
He is doing things repeatedly now that significantly harm the development and emotional safety of our children and their feeling of safety with him.
Yeah. It is hell. And the idea of talking about that is being weaponized. And Daddy wrote something. Well, you should speak to it because you're the one who got it, about episode 29 specifically.
So you'll hear in a previous episode 29,
29.
where we talk about how Daddy came full force at Jenny Lynn to the guardian ad litem.
It was one sentence, but it felt full force to me.
Oh, that's 100% full force.
Because he called my domestic violence
Repeated allegations.
Repeated unfounded allegations of domestic violence.
Which, in fact, were founded because they resulted in three different
judicial officers.
Yeah, judicial officers granting this DVPO.
And let me be clear. I'm not trying to appear like I'm defending my domestic violence because, like I said, I know it's real. What I do want to do is illustrate the level of scrutiny
that you're placed under still?
All women.
Well,
but yeah.
And the part where I'm fucking absolutely enraged is that my ex-husband is willing to pay someone that is already trying to take me down to tell another woman that is my support system and always there for my children that their domestic violence was not real and she abuses litigation. That's what that said.
Well, the implication here too in this email, and you'll read it, is that my ex-husband needed protection from me.
Yeah.
That's what he states in this email.
So there is another email that is sent, and it is sent to my attorney from Daddy that says, "Good morning, Mommy. I understand this was a further subject of podcast episode 29. I will be adding these 3 documents, which are, there's a restraining order, the appellate decision, and then a parenting plan of Jenny Lynn.
Yeah, these are my
I am
documents.
not related to her. We literally share a fence.
Yeah, and
So it says, I'll be adding these 3 documents to the guardian ad litem file. I will resupply to the guardian ad litem after receipt of your client's documents. These documents are increasingly relevant given Jenny Lynn's clear continued involvement in this case and her obvious extensive review of even recent communications between your office and my own. Given her involvement, familiarity with both the litigation and the regular interaction with the children, her statements and the restraining order protecting her ex-husband should be available to the guardian ad litem for review within her duties of protecting the children. Let me tell you this. My ex-husband for a year and a half would come over to Jenny Lynn's house and sit in her house and drink her beer and overstay his welcome on a regular basis. He would talk to her at every single event, follow her around anytime that I wasn't there. This was who he thought was his best fucking friend. He came to her for advice. He'd sit there to talk to her about my case and how he wanted to take on paying for my child's entire tuition to be supportive of me because he could now afford it with his new estranged rich wife. He thought all of these things. He thinks she's a great coach for our children. He knows that she's a supportive person when I'm going to be 15 minutes over their school release time because I have a meeting, that she's the one that'll pick them up.
I've watched them for him several times.
Yeah. So the fact that all of a sudden she's getting in the way of my parenting and she's a dangerous person is what it sounds like they're alleging to me. So now her parenting plan is in there and my ex-husband is paying for this. Not just paying his attorney to find these things and provide them to the guardian ad litem, but now he is expecting to pay the guardian ad litem $175 an hour to review these documents, a 40-page appellate decision that reviews her domestic violence protection order and then goes on to further describe why there is now a mutual restraining order put in place that is just to make sure that people are not engaged in a way that has shown to create conflict. You can take those papers and Jenny Lynn will make a song about them.
Yeah. Daddy's a lawyer, working for his mommy, 20K retainers, yeah, billing getting
Right, I will. What I don't like about this email and what I think is really I don't know what word I want to use. I'll just describe what it feels like from my end. So when you only submit half of a story or half of a document, that's a mutual restraint. And when you're painting it like only my ex-husband needed protection,
Zach said.
It's not even painting it. It's what you said. It's false. It's false. You're painting things in a false light. And whether you think that's good lawyering or not, I actually don't care. I think it speaks to you as an attorney and how you operate on a day-to-day, and you as a human, and you as a man in society, and where you find your place.
And as an officer of the court.
As an officer of the court, all of it. If that's your definition of advocacy, is painting not even a party to the case as someone who was, needing to be, restrained in my ex-husband, who I now share custody with, go ahead. That is not the full story. And I seriously question your credibility as a human being, not as an officer of court, as a human being. And I'll write a silly song if I want to, and I'll call you daddy. I'm not coming after your home life. I'm not coming after your relationship. I'm not even coming after
you as a person.
You as a person.
An individual.
No, your
The
business.
system.
I haven't named your business. I haven't named you as a person. None of it. Zero of it. So if that's the place that you want to fall in this society, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, thank you. Thank you for illustrating for me and for all of our listeners how society treats women and how society treats domestic violence, how society treats children exposure to pornography. This is society. This is what's happening all over the country and all over the world. And you, as a man, have put yourself in your own bed.
Oh, perfect.
Love you. See you over the fence.
See you over the fence.
Bye.
Bye.
4 days a month, yeah, that's enough for me. No school, no sports, no responsibility.